Welcome to another episode of Mastering Money Mondays, where each and every week we infuse a topic that will help all of us transition from one of a debtor and or saver into one of a wealth creator. I am Mr. Green, affectionately known as Mr. Flip Your 401k.
And I am Cynthia Pete, also known as your financial freedom fighter.
That's what's happening. So, episode 22, our show topic. Before I get into that, let's talk about why we have the show. We have this show, Mastering Money Mondays, because we've been taught how to make money, right? Go get education, get a job, right? We've been taught how to manage money, put that money in a checking or savings account or 401k. But we have not been taught how to master money, which is taking that same dollar over and over and over and over again, multiplying it and becoming pregnant with possibilities. So what we are learning with money has been truly transformative. Yes. And so we want to pour it back into community so that we can all learn and make this transition within our financial journey together. Now, the show topic is both and or either or, right? So what do we mean by that, right? So today we're going to be discussing the important concept of both and rather than either or. So we typically think, right, this is the pain point, that one financial instrument is all that's going to do it for us, whether that is a CD or whether that is a retirement savings plan, right? But there isn't necessarily a one-size-fit-all solution. So many people struggle, okay, with choosing different financial products, feeling that they must pick one over another. And this can lead to some missed opportunities for diversification and also balanced growth with your finances. So that's the pain point here. That's what we're talking about.
Cool.
So, Cynthia, I'll turn it over to you.
Cool. So the money tip is you need to diversify to have a healthy financial portfolio. So I know that sounds fancy, but all that means is most people either they do a 401k and that's it, right? Or they do an IRA and a Roth IRA. But honestly, you really need everything, right? It's not either or, it's both and. Right. And I think that's a simple term of explaining diversification. So, yes, you need to definitely invest in your 401k. That's pre-tax, but there's also some after-tax things you can do, right? You can do a Roth IRA. You can do life insurance. There's different ways that you can save. So don't ever think, I have to either do this or I have to do this. It's a both and. Even with us, right? I was taught, go get a job. And then when the job market transitioned and I was laid off, I had started this real estate business, right? And so I'm back in corporate America, but I still do real estate on the side, right? Is both and. It's not either I have a job or I have a business. You can do both. And in learning that from entrepreneurship, I'm also learning as a project manager, looking into, I can consult as a project manager. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a job. It can just be me contracting my services to small businesses that need it, to friends who may need it. So I really want you to think both and, not either or. Now, this comes to money and businesses. I'm not talking about relationships. So let's clear this up. So for all y'all, like, I can have a wife and a side chick. No, that's not what I'm talking about. So let me get that out. Let me get that out the way, because I know some people will stretch. It works both ways too, by the way. I can have a husband and my side man. That's not the both and I'm talking about.
Different strokes for different folks, okay? Diversification can work in various aspects of your life. So, but that's the beauty of Cynthia and I. We can cordially agree to disagree. But no, she's right. When it comes to money, I mean, you want to be able to, because different instruments have different purposes.
Yes.
Different instruments have different features, right? And so I think the first thing that would be helpful is evaluating what those features are, what those instruments are, like interest, how much you have to pay into it, how much the reward is, how stable, those kind of things. You evaluate that, and then you can cultivate a financial strategy and then insert the instruments into that financial strategy. So those instruments will serve different purposes. Right. You don't just have to dump all your money in a 401k and work 40 years and then put the rest of your money in a savings and be like, okay, that's enough. I shouldn't do anything else because it may stretch me too thin, or I don't know enough about it. So you definitely want to allow yourself to become educated on these different instruments, the purposes of them, the structure of them, and then wrap a strategy around it so that you can put your money in different things to ultimately get you to that end result, whatever that end result may be for you. And then I like what you said too, because that's one thing about career or job or generating income. I think sometimes, at least I'll speak for me, because I've been in the finance and benefits industries for so long, sometimes I tell myself that's all that I can do. So I'm going to build a business in the financial services industry, which I am doing. If you want to get a consult with me, you can go to www.meetmrgreen. That's Mr. Green with the E at the end. But I digress. I have other hobbies, like I have other loves, and I desire to put business around it. So rather than saying, okay, it's either me staying in the financial space or I'm going to be in this other space, let me just say holistic space, you can do both.
Absolutely.
You can do both, and then find the balance or be able to prioritize and either become educated and from that education, grow business in both. So don't limit yourself. You know what I mean? Don't limit yourself. So anyway, with that being said, Cynthia, was there anything else that you wanted to say before we close on out?
Well, I think in the closeout, I just want to say that, there's nothing wrong with working a job and working 40 years, putting the money in your 401k. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think we limit ourselves to that. And I think especially with Gen Z, they are not trying to work 40, 45. I'm not trying to work 40, 45 years. So millennials, Gen Z, the reason why you need to say both and is because the retirement picture and even the corporate landscape, which is almost transitioning, trending towards joining the gig economy, right? With the layoffs, I mean, they lay 10,000 people off and hire 10,000 more. So all of these things is why you really need to think about both and not just either or. Yeah,
I like what you said there, because times have changed.
Yes.
It's almost as if you can't or shouldn't say either or. It's almost as if, like, especially when it comes to income, it's almost as if like you have to say both and. Because to your point, you never know what's going to happen, especially if you're in that corporate space or that 9-to-5 space. You never know what's going to happen. And to have something that you can fall back on to generate income is almost, to your point, becoming a necessity now.
Right.
So, I mean, look into those things. Now, I'm an introvert, and I've been kind of looking at some things. I actually use artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. Hey, and I prompted it, hey, like, what are some great remote side gigs or hustles or businesses for someone that's introverted such as myself? You can get paid on ghostwriting, email typing, affiliate marketing, right? So you can do that and your job all at the same time. And I think, to your point, the way that things are changing now, especially in this country, you're almost obligated now to think that way. So with that being said, Cynthia, go on and close us on out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. And as Lonzy talked to at the beginning of the episode, we're just here to teach you how to master money. Money is a tool for the life that you want to live. It's not just a dollar to manage, to live day to day and survive. So that's our goal for you all, just to live the life you want to live. And in order to do that, you got to learn how to master money. So we will see you next time.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Okay, now, see y'all later. I need to talk to Lonzie about it. Are you trying to diversify your marriage? What your wife got to say about that?
That's a conversation we got to have. All right, until next week, y'all.
Bye, guys. Bye.